What's going on, ESGN Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty here in NCAA Football 14. As today it's going to be a rainy day here in Ames, Iowa, as we're taking on the 0-2 currently right now in the Big 12 North, but 1-4 overall Iowa State Cyclones. So this is going to be a match here. Of course, we're in first place right now in the Big 12 North, as you see the current standings right now. And for the most part here, we're the heavy favorite in this matchup here today against the Cyclones. And of course, last year we were able to successfully defeat the Cyclones in a matchup at home. And this year we are on the road taking them on. We're currently 5-0 for the season, 2-0 in the Big 12. And have been playing some really good, interesting, good, decent football for the most part here. Scoring about 45 points a game. They have scored now, Iowa State has scored right now about 24 points a game. So like I said, we're the heavy favorite in this one, with the exception of some areas in our game that we still need to fix on. And of course, as you see, Iowa State, they had their loss there last week against UNLV. And that was a back and forth, actually lost 4 straight. But they had a back and forth with Baylor, which forced them to overtime. But they would end up losing that one 31-28. So Goss is their quarterback. And of course, just take a look at some of the numbers here from the Baylor game. He was 14 of 31 for 175 yards in the air. Had 14 carries for 44 yards and scored 3 touchdowns, one coming through the air and the other 2, I believe, coming from the ground game. So actually all 3 coming from the air game there. As he did complete 45% of his passes in that matchup. And some of the players we're going to have to watch out for in this game. One of them is, of course, obviously Goss, the quarterback, Kendrick Goss, and also as well as Frazier. And then one of the defensive players, White, who we'll see his numbers here in a bit. But there you see Frazier last week, 6 receptions for 74 yards, and he scored all 3 touchdowns. So he is definitely going to be a guy that we're going to watch out for and make sure we can take him down and not have a big game like that. We have not given up too many touchdowns here this year. Obviously, been playing some, like I said, but really good football. Take a look here at the latest top 25 poll. Of course, we're sitting at number 1 right now. As you take a look at number 25, that is Maryland, who had lost to LSU there. And of course, some of the teams actually dropping out is Notre Dame, Tennessee, and Michigan State. Now, one of the things we're going to try to work on this week is really our running game here, because Khalil is back in the hunt here for the Heisman Trophy, as we're trying to get him in there. Of course, there you see some other players as well from Auburn, Ohio State. I got a couple quarterbacks as well in the mix there. So we're really trying to focus on the running game this week. And like I said, with us trying to feed here, we got to try to really slow down Frazier and Goss in this matchup. But I think one of the key things for us when it comes to our running game is we're going to really try to avoid Kelly White here, 6'4", 284 pounds, redshirt junior. He can really be a problem for the ground game here for us, as he can rip and tear through the line and cause some issues for us in the running game, especially on the outside of the run. So I would imagine we'll probably try to run the ball as it is raining here today in Ames. So that'll be probably a good reason why we'll try to run the ball as best we can on the ground and pretty much up the middle here, or off to the left-hand side and just get away from White just overall. But I'm sure they'll probably have him switched around from the left to the right side. We're seeing where we're going to be running the ball towards. So as you see there, Marcus McDonald, the halfback there for them, 95 yards, 13 carries last week, no rushing touchdown. And they were trying to get him going as well. Of course, didn't really get in the end zone too much there last week, but this week they're going to try to obviously get him in the red zone in the end zone any kind of way, either through the ground or in this case there you see the passing. We'll see a 2nd and 10 coming up here for Goss, as he'll throw this one away, as he's going to be hurried there quickly there by the defense, which this defense has been pretty key in most of the season here. I think we've given up pretty much about close to 20 points a game, which has been really nice for our defense. That's usually the thing, about the magic number we give up for against other teams. Where you see there, get a quick 3 and out. So we'll see what we can do here on this first drive. As we got a Matthews in motion, and that is going to cost us here, as it looks like it's going to be a delay of game, and that will be put on Thomas. So that will be a 5-yard penalty, putting us back now a 1st and 15 here for the Scotties. So Scotties got to get the better job here of getting what play they're going to run, and of course, if you got a man in motion, get that guy in motion quickly before that play clock is going to, of course, retire. And one thing we're trying to do our best here is try to avoid any kind of penalties, which Highland's been doing a good job of that this season so far. 2nd and 5 coming up here. We'll see Khalil runs this one there, and that's going to be a good run there for him, about a couple of yards there on the play. A manageable 3rd and 2 coming up here for Thomas. As it looks like they'll try to maybe stay on the ground here once again. And we'll see what we'll try to do as they will run this one there, and that's going to be enough there as they hand that one off to the fullback. That is Rocco Bennett for the first. So looks like Highland's done a pretty good job here. They're really trying to minimize the time of possession here to their favor. As you see the play clock running down to literally a few seconds as they're running the ball here, and of course just trying to chew up a lot of this clock here, especially on the ground game, forcing Iowa State to really defense stay out there as long as possible and as often as possible. So now 3rd and 14 coming up here. This, of course, be a passing situation. I imagine they would probably run play action here, as they will do so. Thomas here going up here, lobs his one up there to Hicks. Hicks comes down with it, and that's going to be a 20-yard reception for 1st down. So 1st 10 here as they're inside the 20. He'll hand this off to Carter. Carter's going to break a tackle, and he's going to get stopped just short of the 15-yard marker, as he'll be looking at a 2nd and 8. Less than 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Still no score. Iowa State trying to get off the field here and get this offense of the Scotties off the field. But Carter will, of course, advance the ball there some for some positive yardage. Looking at a 3rd down, trying to get this one inside the 10. 3rd and 2, hand off to Carter. Carter's going to run this one there. He is going to try to nudge his way and get that ball across that 3rd down marker, but he does. So they go ahead and say he got forward progress there. Now 1st and goal here, again trying to get around that defensive line. He's been kind of stingy here. So far they've been giving about 2 to 3 yards a carry to him. He's trying to find a way how he can get those 5 to 6, maybe even 10 yards a carry. As you'll see a run up the middle here, and this is going to get him stopped just short there at the goal line. They're going to say he's going to be down at the 1-yard line. So down at the 1, 3rd and goal coming up here. Got the big boys on the line, and obviously it's going to be a running play here for Carter. Carter trying to break a tackle. Carter trying to get back there to the line, but he is going to end up losing a yard there on the play. It's going to be now a 4th and goal here. So we'll probably see the kicking team come out and try to put 3 points on the board here for Highland. As we'll go ahead and go up for this one here. No problem as Coach Bonds gets his kicker, and he will put 3 points on the board. So great job there for Highland on this first drive. Really doing a great job there of just time possession, really eating up the clock and making sure that Iowa State defense stays out there. And that's going to be one of the keys to this game, is not let Iowa's offense come out here too much. He's seen game film of Iowa, and of course, like I said, they've had a couple of close games, just like I said last week against Baylor. Let's see a 1st and 10. McDonald here, hand ball hand off to him, but McDonald going up the middle, and he gets almost 20 yards on that carry. Now Gross here drops back here, throws a pass there off to the side there to TJ Carter. And that's going to be a nice reception there for a few yards. 3rd down coming up here for Iowa State. Hand off, and that is going to be to McDonald as Eric Washington bringing him down. And that's going to be a nice stop there from the defense, as we'll see a 4th and 8 coming up here. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter. So now in the second quarter here, Iowa State drops. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Throw a quick pass there to McDonald. McDonald gets the catch, but he cannot get to the first down sticks. And that's going to be a turnover on downs on the play. Effort to them, trying to go for here on and try and change things up here. Not necessarily doing the usual routine of going 3 and out there, as they know that they cannot let this game get away from them too quickly here, as Highland can really, put scores up on the board quickly. As Carter now has the football there, running there, getting around some good blocks, and he's going to get a nice, about a 13-yard carry on that play, giving him a first down. So first and 10 here, after the new set of downs here for the Highland Scotties. We'll see a handoff there to Carter, and Carter trying to get out of the backfield there, but he's going to be denied there. Loss of 2 on the play, as Jared Hood on that tackle. Nice stop there from the Iowa State defensive player. Now man in motion, that'll be Matthews. As we'll see another handoff there, and again they stuff Carter in the backfield. This time losing 4 yards there as Edward Dorsey gets on the tackle. So now they're going to be forced to go for it here on 3rd and 15. It's going to be a pass play situation. Thomas here looking down the field here. He's going to throw this one up there, and that almost gets picked off by Iowa State, but gets tipped around. And now we'll see that Coach Bond says, hey, it's on me. Let's go for it for 4th and 15 coming up here for the Scotties. We'll see a play action here from Thomas. Thomas throwing this one up to Hicks. Hicks gets the catch. He's going to take this one there, and now he's on Iowa State's side of the field here as they're near the 45-yard, or excuse me, they're the 35-yard line. So now, 1st and 10. Thomas drops back in the pocket. Highland State on the field here offensively. The ball is fumbled, and it's going to be picked up by Iowa State. And I'm sure Coach Bonds would like to get that back. But unfortunately, that's going to be a fumble on the Scotties, as that was just a good hit here. As you don't see too often, you don't see Hicks drop the ball. As the big tight end is pretty good at holding on to it, but he could not absorb that hit. And there is an Iowa State player down. And he looks like he is going to have to be, they're going to take a bit of a timeout there and try to help him off the field. Hopefully he is all right. We'll see a 1st and 10 coming up here after that nice fumble from Iowa State defense, as McDonald will be brought down for a loss of 4. Now we're seeing a 3rd down. Gross here drops back in the pocket. Gross doesn't know what to do. He's going to take it for a ride there for a loss of 9. Nice stop there. First sack of the day here for Kevin Jones for the Scotties, and this defense is really, I'm liking what they're seeing here today. As we'll see a 4th and 18 coming up here, and of course Eric Marcus back there. Thinking about trying to return this one here. A little bit of a short punt, but we'll see what he can do with this one here. As Marcus here going down the line here gets a nice return, takes this one back near the Iowa State 25-yard line. Nice return there for him, and a good placement there for the Highland Scotties offense. 1st and 10, and a handoff there to Carter up the middle. And that'll be a carry for him. He'll get about 7 on that play, making it 2nd and 4 or so. So 2nd down. Carter, or I should say, yes, Carter's going to get the football there. A handoff there from Thomas. And that's going to be a 1-yard carry, putting him down here at a 3rd down. So a manageable 3rd down. They can go either way, go through the ground game or go through the passing game. And it looks like they're going to stick with the running game here. As a handoff there to Carter. Carter going up the middle. He's going to be met by a couple of Cyclones. And he does turn the right way. It does spin, or I should say spin the right way to get the 1st down. So nice job there converting from that 3rd down here. 1st and 10. They're inside the 20 of the Iowa State Cyclones. Carter getting a good block there, breaking off a tackle or 2. And he is going to get a gain of 7 on that play, as he's getting close to 50 yards for the day on 17 carries. 2nd and 3. Carter in the backfield. Thomas is going to drop back here, and he's going to throw this one up there and zip that one right there to Hicks in the end zone. Touchdown, Highland Scotties, as they are on the board here with a touchdown. First touchdown of the day, as Hicks gets his 5th touchdown reception of the season. Nice throw. And And nice job there getting in the end zone on this rainy and wet day here in Ames. As we take a look here at some of the games already in progress, and we'll see Cincinnati, who we will be seeing here actually I believe next week. They are taking on BYU 14-10 in that matchup, and yes, we will see Cincinnati next week at home. I believe that'll be homecoming there for the Highland Scotties. And see a nice broke up pass there from the defense. Now we'll see a 3rd and 5 coming up here for Iowa State. 3:33 left here in the first half. Goss now in running here this ball here. He's going to call his own number instead. He's going to take this one down as he does get some positive yards there, taking 12 on that play. Getting it for a new set of downs. Trying to keep this offensive line and offensive drive keep alive here right now. I'm trying to think the right word here. But Goss here hands off to McDonald. McDonald finally being drugged down there as he gets a gain of 8. No run or no huddle as Goss trying to get everybody back on the line. 3rd and 2 coming up here. Scotties can't get their right personnel here, so they'll have to deal with what they got. And oh, nice stop as they get a good hit there on the receiver. I believe that is TJ Carter there on that far left-hand side. So they'll be forced to punt as we'll get the punt now our own 25. Handoff for Carter. Carter gets a good block, but there'll be a shoestring tackle there on him as he'll get about 5, I would say about 4 on that play. So now 2nd down here for the Scotties as we'll see Carter break a tackle. Carter trying to get down to the 40. And he will get there he'll get enough there for the 1st down as he'll be marked at the Highland Scotties 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Thomas here calling an audible here. Doesn't like what he sees from the defense here. Trying to change things up, maybe make a big play. 2 minutes left here in this first half. Thomas here throws this one up there. That's going to go to Barnes, who gets a great catch and a gain of 24, his first catch of the day. And we love to see Barnes and Burns both have a huge day here today. But I think, again, this is primarily going to be a running type of game as it is rain coming down here quite a bit here in Ames. As we'll see Burns gets a nice catch there. He gets enough for a 1st down. So they're starting to open that playbook up here a little bit more. See a quick pass and, oh, dangerously thrown there as Dorsey deflects that one. That looked like it was intended there for Joe Barnes. 2nd and 10. Thomas here is going to be chased down here. He's looking down the field here. Rifles this one to Barnes, I should say. And Barnes cannot hold on to that. Would have been a great touchdown play and a touchdown catch there for them. But we'll see here for 3rd and 10. Highland leads this one by 10. Minute 16 left here in the first half. Quick pass there to Burns. Burns gets the catch. He gets inside the 10. And they'll mark him somewhere around the 6-yard line for the 1st. 1st and goal coming up here for the Scotties. Thomas under centered here. We'll see if they'll go back to the running game here. As we'll see Burns in motion. Coming in a little closer to the offensive line. Thomas here drops back here. Thomas going to get hit as he threw that football there. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. We'll see a 2nd down. 2nd and goal coming up. Thomas under center. Looks like we got a man in motion. We've seen this play before. Handoff to Carter. And Carter can't not get around that corner there. I think Carter needs to maybe run that ball. Maybe next time around they run that play more inside. He's got a bigger gap there inside than he does on the outside. 3rd and goal coming up here. They're going to look like they're going to try to get this one through the air game. They do so. That's going to be a touchdown. Highland Scotties. As that is touchdown number. What is that? Touchdown number 2 of the day. As that is Thomas's 18th of the season. And that is Burns' number 7 touchdown reception of the season for him. Right now, currently leading Highland Scotties in that category. 1st and 10 for Goss and for the Cyclones here, as calling the wrong Iowa school. 2nd and 10 coming up, 34 seconds left here. Gross is going to slip and almost fall, but he's able to pull that one off to Haley. But there's no reception there, as that's going to, well, actually a reception there, but it gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it's no gain. 3rd and 10 with 15 seconds left here. Iowa State probably going to try and make a shot here at the end zone, as they're winding down here. The final seconds left here. Are they going to snap the ball, or are they going to wait? They're going to wait here, play it out. Throw a screen pass there to McDonald, but James will wrap him up at the 35. And that'll be it for the first half in this ball game. So a tough day here so far for Iowa, as they just cannot really get their running game going or their passing game going with McDonald coming out of the backfield there. I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments as we go into the second half. But for Highland, for the most part here, they've been pretty much running the ball here the way they've been wanting to do so here. It is kind of weird that the score is the way it is right now. You would think it'd be a higher scoring game. But Highland's actually been doing a pretty good job here of just kind of just saying, okay, we're not gonna necessarily, we can go down the field and score, but maybe we should just play the long game here and just run the ball, use the clock as much as we possibly can, and win it that way. That's what they've been doing so far here. They did have, of course, that fumble there earlier. We have 64 yards on the ground, 124 yards in the air. And, of course, the rushing game there for Iowa State, 34 yards. And only 22 yards passing for Iowa State. I'm sure that's going to be a different story coming up in the second half. We'll see if that'll be the case, as we'll see the kickoff here for Eric Marcus. Highland, of course, did win the coin toss, and they did elect to get the ball here to start off the second half, as Iowa, of course, State took the ball there in the first half. We'll see what Highland does here in this one. In this first half with the ball, handoff there to Marcus, as we do have a 17-point lead coming into the second half of this ball game. And Dowdell will, of course, make the tackle there. 2nd and 14 coming up here for the Highland Scotties. This is a handoff there to Carter. Carter running off the left-hand side there, trying to break a tackle, but it's going to get wrapped up and taken down for a gain of 5. Looking at a 3rd down here. This is probably a passing situation here for Thomas, as he drops down the field here, looks up to find Randy Burns, and he gets a reception there of 20, and that's going to help move the chains here. 1st and 10, as they're at the 45-yard line for the Scotties. 1st and 10 coming up, as Thomas here drops back in the pocket, looking down the field here, throws this one up there, and that's going to be tipped away by Jay Davis. Another dangerous catch there, and Thomas got to be aware of that here. He's going to have to put a little more oomph to his passes here today. And hand off this one to Carter, and Carter doing a great job here, really taking some of this pressure off of the passing game here, as he's been getting some positive yardage there. Not so much in that play, but for the most part here, helping them just kind of eat up the game clock, and of course, trying to get him some yardage here, trying to keep him in the hunt for the Heisman. As we'll see a quick pass there, that's going to go to Hicks, and Hicks gets a great catch for a 1st down. So 1st and 10 coming up here. We'll see if this ball's going to stay on the ground, as it's going to be a option type of play, but Thomas is going to get caught in the backfield there. That's a loss of 4. So now 3rd and 13 coming up. Scotty's here trying to get this ball. They got to get this one inside the 30 to get the 1st down. That's going to be zipped there, and that looks like it was intended there for Barnes, but he could not hold on to it. And that's going to be now going to a 4th and 13. And Coach Bond says it's on him again, as they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Drop back here, play action. Throw this one up there to Hicks. Hicks able to come down with it, and they do get the catch. That's a gain of 16 on the play. And that's a 1st and 10 here for the Scotties. So Scotty's looking very confident here. And, of course, Thomas, this is kind of building up his confidence here in passing-wise, as Carter gets the carry, and he'll only get 2 on that play, as he gets the toss play for a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Highland Scotties. As we'll see a handoff now to Carter again, and Carter getting his number called here. And of course, talking to Carter here before the game, I asked him, well, how he felt about his number being called out here today. He says, hey, he wants to stay in the hunt for the Heisman. He feels like he has a good shot at the Heisman. It's been a while since they've had a Heisman Trophy winner, and he wants to do so here. And of course, the last one we had actually wasn't really that far off. It was just a couple. It was about a season or so ago there with our QB. But 4th and 1 coming up here. Of course, we haven't had a halfback Heisman Trophy winner since the very first 2 seasons with Wendell. As we see, we cannot get that 4th down, and it's going to force a turnover on downs there for the Scotties. So 1st and 10 here. We got them deep in their own side of the field for Iowa State, as that's a loss of 4 on the play. And of course, Wendell Cason, of course, in the NFL right now. If you're watching our Buffalo Bills series, having had a pretty good season with the Lions. Having a really good career with the Lions right now. So we'll see. John Wade finds Gross and brings him down for a loss there. A nice sack there on the QB. 3rd and 17 coming up for the Scotties. Or I should say for the Cyclones here. Got a man in motion. Gross dropping back in the pocket. Throws his quick pass there to Haley. Haley trying to get down the field to keep him in bounds. And that'll be a 10-yard reception. And he'll be just short of the 1st down. And they'll be forced to punt. So now 1st and 10. As we get a nice return here. And puts us a nice field little across the 50 there. It was a really not so good punt there from Iowa State. I think the wind and the rain might have caused that punt to come up a little short there for them. But, hey, it worked out for us. We'll take it. 3rd and 6. And these Scotties there. Thomas here trying to change the play. Calling audible. Throwing this one there to Hicks. Hicks gets a good block. Hicks trying to break a tackle. He finally breaks 2 tackles before he is wrapped up and inside the 20 for that 21-yard reception. 40 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. The handoff to Carter again. And like I said, talking to Carter, he says, he's not expected to win the Heisman, but he says it would be nice for him. He's not gonna just just because his name is mentioned, he's not gonna just he's gonna try his best to get a chance to be in the finalists of the Heisman. But he's not really expecting to, necessarily win it, but he would like to be. He says doesn't deny that he wants to win it, but he wants to keep Hunt maybe next year. I mean, not this year, but next year has a better shot at it. As we'll see, Burns gets a nice reception there for 10, and that'll be a 1st and goal coming up there as they're inside the 10. Scotty's here, possibly maybe going to the ground. We did see him go through the air before getting a scoring touchdown, but they'll go here with Carter. Carter will get drilled, but he'll get a gain of 2 on that play. So 2nd and goal. As you see the ball inside the 5. Carter there looking for a block, and he's going to bulldoze his way in there. And that is a touchdown there for Khalil Carter. Nice run there for Carter, as I believe that is his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. And, great job there. He's now in double digits now here in touchdowns, rushing touchdowns this season. You see Cincinnati finally they pick up a win here. They are now 4-2, beating BYU. And then you see LSU taking on UMass, 24-19. And they'll, of course, now be 6-1. UMass 2-4. So we will be taking on Cincy next week. And like I said, that is our homecoming game, as they pick up a nice victory there over BYU. 2nd and 10 coming up here. 24-0 here in Iowa State, as McDonald here gets this one, and he is going to be getting a gain of 9 on that reception. Now trying to convert here on this 3rd down. Quickly, you see a pass there thrown to Johnson as he gets a 15-yard reception. And, of course, they are running no huddle here. trying to do their best to, of course, tilt the favor here on their side of things. As we'll see Johnson get called again for another reception, another 15-yarder. Again, can't get our right personnel in here as they're just calling a no huddle. Gross throws this one there, and the receiver cannot hold on to it there, as that's going to be a drop ball. Incomplete pass. We'll see now 3rd down. See what they'll try to do. We'll see if they'll throw the Haley or Johnson there on the far left-hand side. Gross here drops back here, finds hit TJ Carter as Carter's up the middle, and he will get the catch, but not enough for the 1st down. Now Carter, Frazier on your far left, your far right. Gross here looking down the field here. Gross got to get rid of it, but he can't. And they go for it on 4th down, but they get brought down there by James. And a nice job there from James bringing down Gross, as that is going to end the drive here for Iowa State and get the ball back here now for the Highland Scotties. So 7:05 left here. We can take a huge chunk of time here with the ball, just running it, as Carter will, of course, get stopped there for a loss. Looking at a 2nd and 11 for the Scotties. Scotties, of course, trying to move this ball here with Carter through the ground game, and that's a nice run there. Of course, to keep that game clock ticking away and really just try to take away any chance of Iowa State really having possession here coming up. 3rd and 3, handoff to Carter. Carter's going to run this one up the middle, and that's going to be a nice carry there for him as he gets a gain of 6, and should be over 100 yards on the day here on the ground. 1st and 10, 6 minutes left here, 24-0 here. Highland's been pretty much in control of this ball game. And there's the incomplete pass there. Thomas just couldn't get that one off there. A nice job there from the defense of Iowa State. So now 2nd and 10 coming up here. We're going to make up for what we lost there in that sack. And we'll see a pass there to Hicks. Hicks gets the catch. He's going to take this one all the way inside the 20. As he'll get a big catch there for a huge 1st down. Let's see if they can keep this up. Now 1st and 10. They'll probably change it up now. Run the ball here with Carter. As we see a handoff there. Yep, to Carter. And he is going to get a nice carry for a gain of 5 on the play. Over 100 yards for the day for him. Of course, 1 rushing touchdown. It's 10th so far. I kind of got myself confused there. I thought he already had one already, but no. Or he already had 2 already for the day. But no, he's only had that 1. So he's possibly maybe looking for his 2nd one here as he gets another carry. So now 3rd and 4 coming up. Looks like they're going to keep it. Looks like giving a chance here to keep it on the ground once again, and that's exactly what they do. Trying to find a good block here, and they cannot get to the 1st down marker, as it's now 4th and 1 coming up here. And Coach Bond says, you know what, we're this close, let's just go for it. So now 4th and 1 coming up. Thomas under center. I would be surprised if they Coach Bond decides to give Thomas the chance here to run this one. That would be something. We'll hand off there to Carter. Carter gets a great block there, and he's going to get his another rushing touchdown of the day. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, his 11th of the season. And Highland Scotties on the board again. It's now 31-0 as the Scotties get a great touchdown there. Nice run there. Drive. And, of course, have a great drive there. As Alex Thompson picks it off. That's an interception. And a great field there for us as he is from Belvedere Park, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. Nice play. We'll see now 1st and 10 here. We'll get the ball back there from Thompson's interception. Let's see if we can turn to points. And that's a catch there for a gain of 9 for Randy Burns. Burns, of course, already has a touchdown for the day. 2nd and 1 coming up here. 3:03 left here in the 4th quarter. Burns in motion, going from your left to your right side of the screen. Thomas drops back in the pocket, scrambles around here, looking down the field. Going to call his own number instead. He's going to try to get to the 20, but they're going to say he's just short of getting the first down. So you're looking at 3rd and possibly inches here. Hand off again. This time to Carter in the backfield. He's going to have no problem getting there. And he is finally going to be taken down for a gain of 8. So 1st and 10. Thomas again. Now, Thomas is going to call his own number again here, looking for the end zone. He's going to bulldoze his way in there. He's going to get in there. No problem. Rushing touchdown for him. And that is a beautiful run there. That is Thomas's 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. As he gets on the board here himself, it's now a big lead here. As you take a look here quickly, a studio update, Memphis right now leading the number 4 ranked UCF Bulls in their game 7-0. It's 38-0 here with 2:09 left here. Not much for Iowa State to do except for just try to run some offense here and just try to get some kind of offense going for themselves, as they could be possibly looking at a shutout here. 2nd and 11 coming up. All they're on their own 25-yard line. Hand off to McDonald. McDonald putting his head down, but he is going to be just short of getting that first down marker. 3rd down. Hand off to McDonald again, and this time he is finally shut down, as he'll lose 2 yards in that play. And that could be it for Iowa State here. That might be the final drive there, which they will punt. So with 108 left here, just trying to run the football here with Carter, get some positive yardage here, and just try to walk away here with a nice shutout here. We don't have to do too much here. Just get some positive yardage, keep this ball moving, and make sure we keep that game clock ticking away. As Carter here runs this one there, getting past the 50, and he's going to get a nice run there for about 8. So now looking at a 3rd down, a 3rd and short coming up here, and just a few ticks left here. They're going to run this one more time, and that right there should be the ball game. As Iowa State gets shut out here at home in front of this crowd. A wet, muddy day here, as Thomas gets 3 total touchdowns, 2 of them which are through the air, as he threw over 250 yards for the day. And we win this one 38-0. What a victory here. And of course, Iowa State now losing another one here. And tough break for them. So nice job for us, as we had 20 first downs to their 5. We had 419 yards total offense. They had 102. I was really surprised that they were not throwing the ball around like they were. They looked like they were just really trying to focus on trying to get McDonald some passing or some rushing yards there. Of course, they did throw the ball to him a couple of times, but compared to their game against Baylor, they did a great job there passing. I guess they, wasn't too keen on our, offense or our defensive swag that we have there. We're picking balls off left, which we did. We intercepted them already, once already in this game, and almost took it back for a pick 6. But you think they would be willing to challenge that and test that and see how good our secondary are. And unfortunately, that was not the case here. They only they had the total time of 7 minutes and 18 seconds. So they were not on the field too often, and that's a shame. Need to definitely take their time. Thomas, 15 of 22, 253 with 2 touchdowns. Completed 68% of his passes there. Congratulations to him. Of course, he became the player of the game. Carter, 48 carries. Wow. 153 yards. We should have definitely got Bennett and Robertson involved in that game when it came to running. But 2 rushing touchdowns. He had 2 broken tackles in that game. Thomas, 3 carries for 10 yards. And he had a rushing touchdown of his own, which I was really when I was playing, I'm like, oh, please, Lord, don't drop this ball here. But especially on a slick field and everything. Hicks, 8 catches for 151 yards, a touchdown. Burns, 6 catches, 78 yards, and also a touchdown. And of course, Joe Fortunately, couldn't get to him too often, and they kept on him pretty close. I was really thinking the game was going to keep an eye on Burns, but no, they just let Burns run wild, and that's the guy they need to kind of clamp down. But yeah, Barnes unfortunately just could not do anything for us just with that one catch. Defensively, looking at some of the numbers here, Sands, of course, had some of the most tackles in the game for us. He had 5. Washington had 4. He had also 2 tackles for loss. Alex Thompson had a nice day. He had 2 tackles and an interception. Jones, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks in the ball game for him. So nice day for those fellas there. As for Kendrick Goss for Iowa State, 14-25, 73 yards, on which like I said, I'm really surprised they did not challenge us more often in the passing game, because like I said, against that Baylor game, they had a pretty good passing game. And you know, I'm not saying our defense, when it comes to defense passing, is great, but it would have been nice to challenge us in that way, and see what our secondaries could do. And but you know, I guess to them, there was just too much rain coming down. They didn't want to risk, you know, getting the receivers hurt, and they just want to, I guess, test McDonald here, which we did a good job there, keeping him quiet. 7 carries for 36 yards, no rushing touchdowns for him, but he did have 6 catches for 5 yards. Johnson, towards the second half, they're starting to move the ball a little bit more better through the air. With Johnson with 4 catches, 50 yards. Haley had a few catches there for close to 20, I believe. And then you can see the defensive numbers there for these guys as well. But Iowa State, they're still one of those schools that are trying to regroup, get better. The last couple seasons here has been kind of tough for them. They've lost quite a few guys here. Obviously, one of the biggest names, Brock Purdy, who's now in the NFL. So they're trying to regroup and regain. And of course, with these new schools coming into the Big 12, it's kind of tough. Recruiting's gonna get tougher, and trying to recruit young men to come to Iowa and to Ames is gonna be even more so than it was before. But just take a look here. Here's some of the players that we're looking at right now. We've got a couple of battles. Marcus White, unfortunately, is going to go to Boston College. And, of course, Josh Young, who's a player that we were looking at for depth, is going to go to Army West Point. But, hey, Rico Folk is with us now. He is signed with us, so he's our latest signee. And, of course, so we got a lot of battles there with all the other young men that we're talking to for next season. But as you take a look here, we're getting ready for this next matchup, and that'll be episode 126 as we come home for a nice homecoming game here. It's going to be tough as nails indeed against Highland, and we're going to see what the Cincinnati Bearcats can do in a tough stadium situation here, as it will be homecoming, so we got to play well here. I believe we have a couple players as well showing up here as prospects as well, so it's going to be a huge game for us. And, of course, a huge game for them. Hopefully we can get some of those young men signed and be a part of the Scotty Nation for next season. But taking on the Bearcats, 4-2. Like I said, they beat BYU in a nice game there against them at home. And so now they're on the road this week, and they have to take us on. So we'll see what we can do against the Bearcats coming up in week number 9. But that's it for this episode of the Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified of this series or any other series that happens to be uploaded to the channel. And not to mention, follow us on social media. Our social media is down below in the description. And don't forget, we do have a second channel here on the YouTube. It's ESGNet plus LP, as we have a nice NCAA series over there as well with the Stanford Cardinal. It's actually TJ Bonds, the son of course, of Coach Teddy Bonds, his son, coaching his alma mater, which is Stanford. It's an online series that I was playing with some buddies about 2 or 3 years ago. So definitely go check it out. I'll leave a link down there below as well for you guys to check out that series over there. But that's it for this episode of the Highland Scotties. As always, guys, have a great day. Keep each other healthy, and I will see you all next time.